everyone, and welcome to Art Bytes with the Marianna Kistler Beach Museum of Art. My name is Kathleen Copeland. I'm a gallery teacher here at the museum, and today I will be discussing the artist Conrad Marca-Relli and two pieces from this artist that we have in our collection. Conrad Marca-Relli was born on June 5th, 1913, in Boston to Italian immigrants. He spent much of his childhood between the United States and Europe, but settled in New York City with his family at age 13. Although he was largely a self-taught artist, at age 17, he did briefly attend Cooper Union Institute, a private New York City-based school. The following year, in 1931, he had established his own studio in the city. He worked for the Works Progress Administration between 1935 and 1938, first teaching and then later by painting murals. Marca-Relli served in the Army during World War II from 1941 to 1945, and after his return from service, he found a community in the art world of New York City. He helped found the 8th Street Club, a group of artists who included notable names such as Willem de Kooning and Franz Klein. Marca-Relli belonged to the New York School of Abstract Expressionist Artists, who introduced a diverse and innovative methodology of art making to the world. However, as he grew as an artist, Marca-Relli increasingly distanced himself from that loose and energetic style and embraced other artistic influences. Marca-Relli traveled and lived all over the world, including London, Rome, Paris, Ibiza, and more, but the artist lived his final years in Parma, Italy, where he passed away in 2000. Marca-Relli is most well known for his large-scale collage paintings. He's considered one of the first artists who elevated collage to an artistic level comparable with other fine art mediums. He began his artistic career inspired by surrealism and created oil paintings of various scenes and subjects. However, in the early 1950s, he transitioned from painting to collage and from surrealism to abstraction. Many say that he began experimenting with this medium after running out of paint during a residency in Mexico in 1953, but this fact is debated. No matter what his initial motivation, after this point, Marca-Relli began using many different materials and elements such as canvas scraps to create his compositions. He once said in reference to his methods, collage forces you to think and clarify ideas with regard to both space and volumes. This discipline obliges me to think in terms of forms, outlines, real and imagined spaces, so as not to fall into the temptation of thinking that nature is a reality. In the early 1960s, Marca-Relli started to create spaces in his work that were more flattened, rigid, and geometric than before, but maintained a dynamic and engaging artistic methodology throughout his work. He also began heavily experimenting with new materials during this time, such as plastic, vinyl, and metal. You can see this clearly in today's featured collection pieces. The artwork on the left is an untitled collage created in 1969. It is 18 by 18 inches and features both vinyl and metal on paper. This piece is number 44 in an edition of 50. And while our second featured piece on the right does not feature the same experimental materials, it is still very much representative of Marca-Relli's style during this period. This work is a collage of fabric and construction paper on cardboard support. It is 20 by 25 and 3/4 inches and was created in 1970. This work is number 33 in an edition of 50. While these two pieces do not share all the same materials, they are similar in several ways. Take time now and pause the video if needed to see if you can find a few ways that you might compare these two pieces, and then a few ways that you might contrast them. Take note of the materials, the shape of forms present in each composition, the colors used, and any other elements that may stand out to you. What do you notice? Marca-Relli's collage work evolved over the years. He continually refined and altered the ways that he implemented materials into his art. However, his way of using these collage materials remained mostly consistent. Collage was not, to him, the adding of some alien material to an existing work. It was using them to reveal shapes and forms, a means of painting. He once said, "I use collage not as a method of bringing in foreign matter into the painting. I wanted collage to be a way of painting, which it was for me. It was the clearest way that I could find to get the edges of the volumes I wanted to delineate. And it also gave me the possibility of working over and over a painting without it getting stale, because with collage, each time you add a piece, it's fresh. I hope you enjoyed this discussion of Conrad Marca-Relli, his story, and art. The pieces featured today from our collection, along with many others, can be found on the collections page of our website. And as always, thank you for joining us for Art Bytes.